heels on my tippies. Don't say ain't Gabbana, that's on my titties. How me bet.
Hi everybody, my name is Deline, and if this is your first time viewing, please do not forget to subscribe, like and share. Today we'll be speaking about the code breakers, the lines of coding turned into digital magic. Today's topic is going to be about creating web pages. So go ahead and download Visual Studio Code, which is the ideal IDE that we will be using to create a basic web page. So we'll go through the basic HTML structure and create your first web pages. Just follow on the computer as we go and let me know how your web pages have turned out. Log on to your web browser of your choice and download Visual Studio Code. Once you've got Visual Studio Code downloaded, it should bring you to this page. Once you've got Visual Studio Code downloaded, just click on your file and new text files. Okay, so the language we'll be using is HTML, so go ahead and click there and then type in HTML. Okay, click on the word itself, which is HTML, and it will bring you to this document. Then you enter the structure of HTML, which is doc type HTML, the head. Okay, so it's open HTML, then there's a close. For every opening tag, there's a close tag, and then you continue typing in head. I will just go and type everything and then just show you how the basic HTML structure looks like. So this is the basic HTML structure to your first web page. So it should look something like this. You will have a title that says my first web page, which is inserted there. That will be the title that comes on the tags when you open up your web pages. And then this header 1, this is the welcome to my first website. That is what the users will see. It's the title the users will see. And then P is for paragraphs. So this is, you just put a little bit of something about, your page in there that the users can read. And then you've got your footer, what you place at the end. We can also play with this, and we can also add images or hyperlinks, etc., etc. But I just want to show you the basic structure, not to confuse you. So as mentioned, this comes with a folder that you need to open. So you'll go onto wherever you want to open your folder, and we'll call this one just say Darlene today. Just to be fun. And inside the folder you will create subfolders, which I will quickly create and then let you view. So inside your folder that you've created, you'll have subfolders that you'll create, which is the CSS, your images, your index.html, and your different pages. So just to show you that in my images folder, there's nothing. Okay, so I will need to drag pictures in this folder that I will need to use in my IDE so that they can be pictures on my web page. I'll show you how to do it. So the picture I decided to use is my daughter's picture, Rachel's picture, which I've just, added there as an IMG 5654. So just to give you an idea of how this works, let's go back to Visual Studio Code, which is here, and I'm going to insert the code just under here, but I'm going to break it down because I need some space between the paragraph and what I want to say. So we're going to break the page, that's the code for breaking the page, and then I'm going to insert the image, which is IMGSRC. That's the code for that, and then we're going to put in the image. So I need the path to Rachel's image, so it's not popping up, so I'm going to do this until it pops up. Did I say Darlene today? I just say maybe Darlene. Can I say images? One. And I'm using my daughter's image, and basically the pathway to this on my computer shows you there. So you take that pathway and then you say image SRC, then you place it down there, and then you need to save this page. Remember that folder you created in the beginning? So you're going to save it as don't forget to go to the correct folder. So this is the wrong folder, so we're going to go into desktop where I have it saved under Delene today, and under the index HTML is where you're gonna, so the first page you can say about us, home, or whatever. So I'm just really gonna save it under home and then save. Okay, so you will have your page there, and now you need to open your page with something, a browser, and I will open mine with it doesn't matter, it can be Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge. Let's open it with my Microsoft Edge, and this is your first web page where it says welcome to my first web page, a little paragraph that you had coded in there, the picture so huge that you've inserted, and basically this is your first web page. You can resize your picture onto Visual Studio Code, and we'll do that later. Yeah, so this is your first, sorry, click there. This is basically your first web page with this huge picture, but you don't want this picture to be so big. So this is your picture that you have, which turned out to be so big, and you can't display something this big on a web page. So you go back to Visual Studio Code, you click there, and now you have to style your image so it can be smaller. So what you do is you type in the style. What do you want to do? You want to change the height. Let's change it to 200 pixel. Let's let our page obey us, and then we can maybe do the width, 200 pixel also, yeah. And yeah, and then you just, whatever you do, you have to save it in order to appear on your page. So I've saved it here. And so if I go onto where my picture is, and I just, refresh, then it will tell me what I've done on my Visual Studio Code. Okay, so this is base, and you can put whatever you want. You can change the color of the background by just going back to Visual Studio Code into the body. We call this inline, changing of color or whatever styling, inline styling. Then you go into the body, and then you tell the computer what you want must be done. So you will say style, I want the style or whatever to be amended, and then style for what? The background color. Okay, what color would you like, for example? And then you choose, something that's user friendly. Let's say bisque. Okay, and then you file. Don't forget to save, huh? And save, and then you go back to your page. And it's still white, but then you have to refresh, and then you've got your bisque color. So it's actually, coding is actually very nice. You tell the computer what to do and it will do it. Let's go ahead and add another page with maybe a contact detail page. So all we have to do is say next, and remember the basics. We choose the HTML, the language that we want the computer to obey, and let's put in the basic structure, which is just quickly, doc type. It's like I'm holding with one arm the phone and then typing with the other one. HTML, then we've got the head, the head, just the basic, not the header, head. Then let me just type the basic structure, finish, and then we can insert the contact details in a table form. After the body, we have to close the head. Yeah, we have to close the body. We have to close the HTML structure as well. So this is the basic. So now we need to put in her contact details. So what you can do is just put in the body a header. Okay, so whatever opening tag you have, you must have a closing tag. Okay, so we close the header, and we're going to put in the header information, which is the contact me page. Okay, so we've got the header, and we're going to put in the information that we want in there, which is basically we're just going to make a little bit of a page break, and then we're going to put in the we want a table. Okay, so we're going to put in open a table, and where we open a table we also need to close the table. Okay, so after opening the table we need a table header. Okay, and where we have something open we need to close the table head as well. And then okay, so we've got the table head. Now we're going to start with the table rows. Okay, and we are going to close the table rows as well. So whatever you open you need to close, otherwise it will show red, then you know something is wrong. Okay, so now let's put in the table header. Okay, the information that will come on, and then we have to close the table header. So just for a quick tutorial, I'm just gonna do two headers. So the first one will be because it's the contact page, we'll have a mobile number. You can word these things better, and then you will have maybe an email you know, area where you'll put your email. Then you are going to have a data line where you are going to basically change from TH to TD for table data, and you're going to close these also to table data, table data. Just a moment. And table data. So the data that you need here, it says mobile number for table header, so you put in a mobile number. So it's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, so this is now your mobile number, and then by email you can put in Rachel T or Y at gmail.com. Okay, so let's just try and save this and see how it will pop up. So we're gonna save this as yes, we are in the correct folder. We're gonna say contact, no? And then we save. Okay, so if we do go into the contact page and open it with Chrome, this is the information you get: contact me, mobile number. But you don't want it like that. You put it in a table so it can appear in a table. So we are going to go back to visual, and then just under title go and make a style. We're going to open style, and then we close style. And then what are we styling? We are styling the table, right? We are styling the table rows, the table data, and the table header. These are what the things we are styling. So how do you want to style it? The way you want to style it, you will say the border. You want to insert a border, for example, and 1 pixel solid, 1 pixel solid, and you want the border to be black. Okay, and then you file, save. Okay, let's go back to our page that you've got there, and we just refresh, and voila, now you've got her contact details in, you know. And of course you want these pages to look uniform like the first one. So there's so much that you can do. Again, you just go into the body of the page, you style it, the background color, you know, what was the color we used? I think it was this, I'm not sure. And yeah, you file and you save, and when you go back to the page, you go back to the page and refresh it, then you've got a different color. So the next tutorial will show you how to link up the pages, and also how to add a form to your page. Okay, so we're gonna link these 2 pages that we've created. You know, we're gonna put hyperlinks in there, so when you're at this page you can click and arrive at the following page. So let's take the passage of the contact page. We copy it, go to Visual Studio Code. Guys, this thing is so lovely. Like, you can do whatever you want here. So so it depends on where you want it, nah? So I'll just do a page break, you know, and then I'll add a hyperlink reference, you know, and then that passage where my contact page is, and then I'll name it, you know, so you can type there, you can click there and then you'll arrive. So you will see I put in the codes. So guys, these codes, you have to learn them. It's not something that, you know, so you will have to learn it, and it's easy to learn. You can go on Google and get your codes there. So for hyperlinks, it is this, and then the passage, and then and where you want to link it to. So don't forget to save, and then when we go back to the page, because we put it here, we just refresh, and there you see the contact page, the contact hyperlink. So the moment I click there, I arrive here. Okay, we can also have a home link here. So let's do that quickly. Sorry about that. Quick. Let's open this up. Open with Microsoft. So we take this link here, we copy it, the passage, go here under contact, and just under the table, we break the table, and we put in the code for the hyperlink, the passage, we close it, and we're gonna say home, and then we're gonna file and save it, so that when you are here, you click contact, you arrive at, you know, contact, and if you're here and you want to go to home, then you're at home. So this is really fun. This is just a quick one, guys. So I know some of you are like, oh, what are ugly, but this is the basic structure of a website, and then you can add it, you know, you can make pictures move and flicker. It's you know, it's just you creating what you want the end user to see. I hope you enjoyed my tutorial, but before I leave you, we also still need to do the last one, which is creating a form. Okay, just quickly, we'll do the form after this break. Okay, so we are going to insert a form, a submit form on this page. So we've basically closed the table down there, and we are going to insert a form. Just make a page break and then say form, form ID. Okay, form ID. Let's just close that over there. And forms normally come in label tags and input tags. Okay, so if you've got a label there and then close label, then you've got a, you know, an input tag, and you just close, and then you must have a closed input, not closed body, but input tag. Okay, so under label, so before we put in information, let's just copy this and page break it, so that there can be spaces between, you know, what the information we want. So here under label, we will say, because it's a submit form, right? So we can say surname, or wait, name. And how do we want this information to be? You know, we want it in what, like, what do you want? Do you want it type in text, or is it like that? Yeah, you want the input in text type. Okay, so if you are saying the person must insert their name, how would you like the person to insert their name? If you are saying the person must insert their surname, what is the input method, you know? So you would like it in text form, right? Yes, you like it in text form. And then do you want them to perhaps add a message, because it's a contact form, right? The ID would be, you know, saying it's a contact. No, just leave it there. we can say header 1, and then we'll say contact form. Okay, and then you've got your page breaks, and then you can put in your label. Let's label it. Let's label and close label and say message, right? And then this will be your text area, okay. And then how would okay, my phone battery just died, so we're moving into text area. So in order to put in the text area, remember this is the area when you're submitting, if you want to add additional information. We're just going to put 5 there, and let's just save this and see how, you know, that page looks like. So it looks like this. Nah? I can even refresh and it looks like this. So you don't want it. Let's put the message up here, and then, you know, the hyperlink to home like down there. So how are we going to do that? We're going to break it, and this is where this page breaks or whatever come in. We're gonna do 2 of them, and the same here. We're gonna just break it, break it down. So if we file and save and go back to the page and refresh, then this is what we want. So you will enter your name here, your surname there, and what is it that you want Rachel to see, basically. And then, oh yeah, we forgot to add the submit button, because there needs to be a submit button to this form. So you go back to your code and you enter the the button. Okay, so this button, what is it? It's a type, right? So what type of button is it? It is a submit button. Yes, people. And then this button's function is to submit. And we're just gonna give it space between the hyperlink, and remember breaking it. Okay, so let us save, go back to our page, and remember there's nothing there. We refresh, and voila, there's a submit button. So you enter the information, what is it that you want Rachel to see, and then you submit. Guys, this is the basic structure. So you will see that this is how people create web pages, tables, you know, forms, hyperlinks from one page to the next, you know, how to insert a picture, and so forth and so on. So this is the basic structure. There's so much that you can do when building the basic structure of the website, you know, like listing your hobbies or whatnot, and etc, etc. I do hope that you enjoyed my tutorial, and yeah, please do pop by to see what new stuff I've got. Congratulations, you've just built your first website with HTML and CSS. As you continue to learn, you can add more features and design elements to your page.